Do I got that pulled up still? Yep, and we are live. Give me 1 second. We're gonna get to it. Uh, Starting off talking about Caitlin Clark. Man, I can't lie. Um, I've had the last probably like 24 hours and all the stuff that I've had to process concerning everything everything it's a lot of noise centered around Caitlin Clark. And I kind of hate it for her because I mean she's a rookie. I mean, just it was not too long ago that all of these rookies were just playing in in the tournament. Like that was March. It was 3 months ago. And literally all of them, like life is coming at them way too fast. You don't even get the opportunity to process a loss. And when I say this, I'm talking about Angel Reese also. You don't even get the opportunity to process what just happened in the tournament before you had to jump right into figuring out, okay, what's gonna go on with the draft. Now the draft is here and all of the stuff that you have to do, all the promo and stuff like this. And then now we jump straight into training camp and playing basketball. So like literally we haven't even had the opportunity to process uh these women not being in the LSU jersey, not being in our jersey. And now they play for their respective team, the Chicago Sky and the Indiana Fever. So I just want for people to recognize this, that this is a rookie that we're talking about. So over the course of the last, I don't know, last few months, I found myself let me change some stuff here. I found myself seeing all the sides. Well, not I was only seeing one side at first. I was seeing what I perceive to be the hate. And I started saying this before I seen anybody else saying this. This is not something that I just jumped on a bandwagon concerning. Like I was seeing people hate on Caitlin Clark. Whether that be within the WNBA and outside of the WNBA. I saw it. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. At the end of I did research and all that type of stuff, and I come once the conversation got big, I found myself not wanting to partake in the conversation because I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna overstep my bounds here. I see clear hate, but people saying where's the hate? So apparently they don't want to talk about the hate, and I know how that is sometimes. Sometimes you just want to deal with stuff within your own, circumstances. Like I'm gonna handle this in house. We ain't worried about all the ears and all the eyes uh that got something to say about it. Let us handle this, and you mind your business. So I felt like I needed to mind my business towards that. But yesterday I saw the other side of it. I see the other side of it, and I see Caitlin Clark stands. And like I say, I want for Caitlin Clark to be able to just be a rookie. The first video that I ever made about Caitlin Clark was when people were overly criticizing her first game. And I'm like, why are we criticizing her so badly when she is just a rookie? She's a rookie. She just played her first 2 games. Give her time. She's not coming into the WNBA and doing all that stuff that she was doing in college. She's going to have to adjust to the professional game. And then from there, we'll see where it goes. So with that, in that same video, I brought up the coach. And this should have been my warning. This should have been a trigger. I was talking about on the flip side, you have these people who are saying that the coach should be fired. They're not coaching right. And I'm like, what? Like when the coach said basically what I just said, people were saying that, oh, that ain't right. The coach need to be fired. And I'm like, why would the coach need to be fired? What are y'all talking about? And that should have let me know within itself that there were people out there who have a lot to say that know nothing about basketball. Absolutely nothing about basketball. Because when I heard that coach speak about Caitlin after her either first or second game, I was like, she's 100% right. She got to learn. She got to learn how to be a teammate. She got to learn that hero ball isn't that. We're gonna have to learn how to win within the confines of a team. You got to learn how to trust your teammates. All of that type of stuff is what Caitlin is gonna have to learn in order to be successful at the next level. So I didn't have a problem with what the coach said, but you had a lot of people had a problem with it, and that should have been the forewarning that there were some crazy individuals out here. But let's get to this because one of the things that I said I'm gonna play the full because people saw my reel, people saw my short, people saw my TikTok, and they saw the way I spliced it. But when it comes to that, you got 90 seconds. So having that minute and a half, like I had to splice some of Dave in order for me to get my stuff off. But let's go to Dave's full. I want y'all to see the full video because when I brought up sexism, people was like, what do you see it at? Like, first of all, like just to start a conversation off by saying, how dumb are these women? Like, what? Like, just as a man, I would not feel comfortable letting that come out of my mouth, especially in a public forum. So I just thought that was crazy. Me. And that's just how we're starting a conversation. So you had people that say that they didn't get it from what I posted. So I want to sorry about that. I want to get the entire video up here. I want you to see the entire video. This is short. Where is it at? Let me just search it. Dave. Oh, he posted this on his. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought I was getting it from somebody else. He posted it on his own stuff. Okay. All right. 1 second and you'll be able to see it on your stream.
All right, I'm at Saratoga Belmont Day, looking spectacular per usual, shoes, bang. But this is about Caitlin Clark being left off the Olympic team. How dumb are these women? How dumb? I don't know who's making the decision, Women's Olympic Committee, whatever it is. I don't care if you don't think Caitlin Clark, talent-wise, belongs on this team, even though she does put up 37 to 13, like the most points in the history of the league for a rookie. None of it matters. These women, and I love women. I'm a pro-woman guy, women guy. They complain in the...
So here's my thing. In talking about this, I cut this out of the reel, but he did bring up the Olympic Committee. He just automatically assumed that they were women and immediately jumped to attacking women. And that's not who made the decision. Is it men? Is it women? Like for you to automatically associate it with that just because she's a part of the WNBA, I wasn't vibing with that, but let's get back to it.
They cry about equal rights, equal wages, blah, 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 blah. Hey, dummies. For the first time, like in the history of basketball, you have arguably a player who is the most popular player in the world. Like you could argue right now, Caitlin Clark is the most talked about, discussed, most popular, most puts asses in the seats, single basketball player in the world. You could argue that. Yeah, you can say maybe LeBron, Luka, whatever you want, but you can argue it. And you leave her off the Olympics team, it's not only a showcase for her, it's for the sport and the other WNBA players who are on this team. How dumb, how brain dead, how idiotic do the people running this thing have to be? It was one thing after another with her. How I at the business part of my brain is like these people, and maybe it's a guy who did, whoever it is, I don't ever want to hear you complain about flying commercial or not getting salaries or this, that. You're too dumb. You're too dumb. You have a cash cow. This can bring the Olympic basketball, women's basketball will be like the number one thing people watch with Caitlin Clark. As it is, I'd rather watch grass grow. I'd rather watch paint dry. I'd rather watch dirt just be moved around because Caitlin Clark's not on the team. If she's there, it's appointment TV. You people, whoever did this, honestly, hey, take your brain.
I thought that part was crazy when I was watching it. Like, you're like, hey, man, I see you, but I'm over here making a video. But I also wanted to talk about like him saying that he rather watch paint dry. Like, you rather watch paint dry, you rather watch grass grow. Like, again, that's crazy because here I'm a basketball fan. For years, I just watched basketball. I did not have a team. The reason why I'm a New Orleans Pelican fan now, because I live close to New Orleans. And around the time of the Heat, when LeBron was on the Heat, I see the Smoothie King Center and I see that you got all these Heat fans there. And I'm like, that's the home team. So why are we not supporting the home team? And that's what got me into being a fan of a single team. But I enjoy watching basketball. I enjoy watching basketball. I just throw basketball on for no reason. I've watched Caitlin Clark. That's not the team that I want to follow, but that's the team that's accessible to me because I don't get a lot of WNBA games, but I want to, and I'm about at the point because I am a New Orleans and metropolitan area everything fan. Therefore, I was a fan of these LSU teams with Angel Reese. Therefore, I wanted to follow her and see what she was doing in Chicago. And I'm about to just go ahead and break down and buy League Pass because I don't feel like I can watch her any other way. But they do make Caitlin Clark games accessible. So I have watched a few Caitlin Clark games, but I just throw basketball on because it's my favorite sport. I don't watch much of anything. I don't sit at home and uh watch movies and stuff. I watch basketball. In a few shoot, it's 6 o'clock. In a few minutes, y'all got like 30 more minutes with me before we on the game too. So to sit back here and say, like, this is you telling me that you're not a fan without telling me that you're not a fan. Like, if you are a fan of Caitlin Clark and outside of Caitlin Clark, you don't want to watch basketball, which is fine. But if that's the case, you should shut your mouth. You shouldn't have it. And I understand that he's a businessman. And I do understand some of the business things that he's saying in this. But when it comes to marketing and all that type of stuff, I don't, even though I do recognize that it does have a little bit to play in Olympic basketball. But when it comes to Olympic basketball, I think our number one concern should be winning. Winning. Point blank period. So if I just want the stands don't recognize that y'all are making this girl's life harder than it actually has to be. Y'all really are. Because the thing is, y'all come to her defense when there's no need to defend her. Then y'all don't recognize the things that people say outside of basketball, the things that people say off the court can be reason for what happens on the court. So y'all could be saying too much, and that can be making it to where it filters into what's going on the court. And she don't have time for that right now. Now, I will say that there comes a point in time because Michael Jordan used to look for stuff like this. You got a lot of players out there that look for bulletin board material. They want to know. They in their mind, they'll make a story up just to drive and to fuel them. But she's not there yet. She's not there yet. She needs to be focusing on transitioning into the game. She cannot hold up for what y'all are saying and what y'all are doing. But I say that just to say this. Y'all wanted her to make the to make the Olympic team, to make Team USA when she's not deserving of it right now. And if that's the case, then you're going to have 11 other players looking at her and saying that she does not deserve it. And that's going to cause them to be at odds. That's throwing off team chemistry. That's messing up her young experience within the league. And on top of that, which I hate to even say it because she says all of the right things. I wanna jump to this other video real quick. Did we get through the Dave? Let's see if we got through the Dave. Uh, Not on the right one, so it wouldn't work. Let's get through the rest of this, Dave. If we at the end. Oh, that's why I'm looking at the wrong thing. My bad, y'all. Okay.
Put it in a museum and study it for how dumb you are.
Get online.
Yeah, so that's just crazy. Like all of that dumbness, dumb that. That's crazy to me. All that I just feel like it was unnecessary. You can get your thoughts off, and especially you don't get to. Now I will say one thing that I do respect it. One thing I do respect about it, I do respect a person building themselves up to the point where they don't have to watch their mouth. He not now he does have sponsors and stuff like that. Somebody that can, cut his water off. But when you got a certain amount of money and you done built a business to a certain place, like you can speak a little bit more. Because when I first had this video, I'm like, oh, they finna cancel him. And then like you see a whole bunch of people agreeing underneath it, and you see a whole bunch of people you know, basically being okay with it. So but yeah, you can build yourself up. I do respect that. But when I saw this, I was like, oh, they finna cancel him. And he didn't get canceled. Did not get canceled. That didn't happen. But yeah. I I believe that there's a way that you can get your point across and convey exactly what it is on your mind without coming off so brash. Because that's where it gets disrespectful for him to be like, how dumb are these women? Like, and then for someone to act like that's not a problem with what he's saying. Like, I'm a man. I've had a lot of conversation with people behind closed doors. You have conversations in barbershops and all that type of stuff. I know how men talk. Like, I see a lot of stuff. I don't agree with it, but I see a lot of stuff. But the thing is that I also know that there's a lot of men out there that will talk in certain settings in a manner that they most definitely wouldn't talk in public. And it's the same for women also. So like, what was that Kanye line? I'm on TV talking like it's just you and me. Like Dave was talking like it was just me and him. Like, no, like the world can hear you. But anywho, let's get to this Caitlyn. What she had to say. I might play all this. I may not. We'll see. Oops.
Caitlin, what was your reaction when you saw the USA team yesterday, the roster come out?
Yeah, I think I'm excited for the girls that are on the team. I know it's the most competitive team in the world, and I know it could have gone either way of me being on the team, me not being on the team. So, I'm excited for them. I'm going to be rooting them on to win gold. I was a kid that grew up watching the Olympics. So, yeah, it'll be fun to watch them.
What was your level of disappointment not hearing your name on the roster?
Honestly,
Now, I love that question. And this is something that I want to bring up. I think I'm only going to get through one part, and I'm going to also say something else. I want to say that this is like, it's only 3 minutes and 25 seconds of video here, but I saw, I originally saw it on Twitter, and it was like 5 to 7 minutes of it. And it's nothing but reporters asking her about the Olympics. And I want to say that it's not only just the people, it's not just the stands, it's the media also, because this is a rookie. And this is one of the things that caused the hate for her. And it's outside of her. She has nothing to do with it. And this is what I don't think. This is the reason why I don't think that the hate is caused for. But are people going to put a camera in front of Angel Reese's face and ask her for 10 minutes how she felt about the Olympics. They're not. So the media has to accept their part to play with this also. Y'all are making it tough on this rookie.
Honestly, no disappointment.
But the other thing I wanted to say is just listen to how she handles this when she is media trained. Because with all of the stuff that continues to happen around her, she always says the right thing.
Disappointment. Like, I think it just gives you something to work for. It's a dream. Hopefully one day I can be there, and I think it's just a little more motivation. You remember that, and hopefully in 4 years, when 4 years comes back around, I can be there.
Did you have a direct conversation?
And that's right. She is supposed to. If things happen the way that they're supposed to happen and you have the natural growth of a player, she is supposed to be there in 4 years. And all of this stuff will be behind her. She will be liked amongst her peers. She would have put the work in and she would deserve to be there. But people who are saying that she got snubbed, a rookie, what other rookie have we looked at? And let's take this out of WNBA. I want to say what other rookie in basketball, period, have we looked at and said, oh, they got snubbed? Because just, when I just do a simple scan, the first play, I got to go back to Shaq and Christian Laettner. That's why I had to go back in order for us to recognize that, yeah, that was a snub there. But, people just be talking, man. Like, people that don't watch WNBA basketball, don't watch NBA basketball, don't watch Olympic basketball. I watch Olympic basketball. It'd be hard. You got to wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I know in 2020 when it was was it in Tokyo? Like, I had to wake up at like 6 o'clock and very early in the morning just to watch Team USA basketball. So with that being the case, you got a lot of people that don't watch and they got a lot to say, and you can't. You need to be quiet because you're making it hard for this girl. And I want to say one thing. Earlier, I brought up how her coach was justified. Her coach was justified in saying all the things that she was saying. So with the coach being justified, I don't like what the coach turned around and did today. So the coach is quoted saying, so when Caitlin Clark was not placed, and then another thing I wanted to say, Caitlin Clark also herself said that she was not trying out for Team USA basketball because she was focused on the tournament. This happened, back when it happened. So it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that she was left off. Any of these rookies were left off. But as a player, you have things in your mind that motivates you. This right here is supposed to be motivation for a player within their own minds. So it's 2024, 2028 comes around. She's going to be done put the work in order to get there. So if that's her motivation now, that's supposed to stay her motivation. But literally, her coach has already come out and how I said that she did not deserve criticism before. I feel like she deserves criticism for this because I get on ESPN and I need to go actually see the interview so I can see the context in which she said it. But right now, I only have the headline, and the headline says, "Hey, coach." So she is bringing up personal information between her and Caitlin at the time when she found out that she was left off Team USA, text her coach and said, Christy Sides, and said, "Hey, coach, they woke up a monster." And a lot of people will look at that and laugh. I don't, because if you are a professional basketball player, if you're a professional anything, I expect for you to feel that way. Like, I know in the NBA it's like 350 players. In the WNBA, I think it's like 120 something. So you're literally talking about 120 something of the best female basketball players on the planet. And you don't think all of them view themselves this way. You have to be a monster in order to get there. So for her to say they woke up a monster, that is not a problem. But then you just opening up her for further criticism. And this can work two ways. It can work in a manner in which the more the abundance of criticism that you place on someone who already had criticism there, that could make her one of the greatest players of all time. But it also could work in the reverse also. So that's it. That's about all that I have for Caitlin Clark. We're off that. Um, but I will say, when it comes to both sides, like there are several conversations being had centered around Caitlin Clark. And if everybody want excuse me, normally I catch that. If everybody want to talk, let everybody talk. But let's just be mindful, or regardless of what side you fall on, let's be mindful that this is a rookie. I feel the same way about Angel Reese. I feel the same way about Cameron Brink. She's gotten it lucky because she just get to play while everybody is just looking at Caitlin and while everybody is looking at Angel. So she just get to shine, and I love that for her. But let's just remember that they're rookies. Like I don't put much expectation on anybody that's a rookie. Somebody could play. I've seen it happen both ways. Someone could play lights out and kill it their rookie year, come back for their sophomore year, and you don't hear nothing from them and proceed to hear nothing from them, period. We've had plenty. I'm not gonna say any names because I don't want this to get back to somebody and be like, man, why you talking about me? But and who am I to talk? But I'm just saying I've seen it both ways. And I've seen someone I've seen more often than none, you see people that you didn't expect, rookies that you didn't expect to be much of anything. And then you see what they grow into. So yeah, let's just remember that she is a rookie, and let's give her the room that's necessary for her to grow. All right, now we back on to the men's game. Um, I want to go see something. Let's get this off and let's go to ESPN. I don't know why I can't type right now. Go to ESPN. Let's look at NBA. Now, is Luka playing? So I'm guessing that Luka is playing. Earlier, he was on the injury report. He went from being probable to being questionable. So let's have a conversation. Like I said some things. I said some things about. Let's get this off. And let's get this off and let's do something else real quick. Is it over here? All right. Get that up just to get the number on there. And if you want to call in, call in. I forgot. I got on here and got to talking so much. I forgot that I was supposed to be taking calls and stuff. I have been looking at comments though. Let's talk about the finals. Now, I said some things. I thought that Dallas was gonna come out and punch Boston in the mouth and win game one. I saw the polar opposite. And anybody that says something about the Celtics winning and dominating fashion, boy, the Celtics made them look good. Like I had real concerns. Like from what we've seen with the Celtics and with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum being at the forefront, we have seen them get there time and time again, but then when they get there, it's like something just happens. So I was expecting for what has always happened to happen until they showed me. And they still ain't showed me yet. They just showed me for one game. But hey, last I checked, you got to win 4 of them things. He got to win 4 games to get there. So, that's how I feel. Kristaps Porzingis was coming off of injury. Along with coming off of injury, he's coming to his very first finals game. So I didn't know what I could expect from him. I thought that he was going to be a little rusty, because normally especially when you've gone pretty much the whole playoffs without a player, like, well, anytime you've gone so long without a player, and then the player has to get worked back into the rotation, like, there's growing pains. And so I'm looking at it like, so we're going to go through growing pains in the finals? Like, that's a difficult thing to do. It wasn't difficult for Kristaps. Kristaps got in there and looked like this was like he got in there looking like he was LeBron. Like, man, I done been to 10 finals. Like, this ain't nothing for me. This a walk in the park. You couldn't tell that it was his first one. Like, he looked comfortable just backing people down, hitting them with the midi. But do I expect for Boston to come out and dominate like that again? And do I expect for Dallas to come out there and not play well again? I don't expect it. I expect for them to meet in the middle. I expect for the Celtics to come down a little, and I expect for Dallas to go up a little. So with that being the case, like, I enjoyed watching Kristaps the other day, but I also know that when you getting like that, it's a reason why the league as a whole is trying to get away from that mid-range shot. Now, I will say the people that have perfected it, that it falls, but it's a low percentage shot. And like, it's not low percentage, but it's low percentage for what you get. You get 2 points. You also get 2 points from taking it down to the hole, and that's, your odds go up. Like, your odds go up with that shot. Not only do you have odds of making the shots, but you also have better odds for getting fouled. So your odds go up. I understand it. And I like the mid range, but I'm just saying that, it has to fall, or maybe it doesn't. Like, I'm a Pelican fan, like I told y'all. Like, another one of those mid range individuals that kills from mid range is Brandon Ingram. And I've seen way too many times where Brandon Ingram is falling and it's not. So, I don't know if KP is going to come right back and play in the manner in which he just played. But what I will say when it comes to KP can affect the game in so many ways. So he can affect it on the defensive end. He can affect it at the basket. He can, shoot threes at a decent clip. So when it comes to that, I do feel like he's gonna. The thing about the Celtics, and this was my thing going into this, they have a lot of serviceable players. They have a lot of players that can go out there and get you 30. They just don't have a player that can go out there and consistently go out there and get you 30, 40 points. And sometimes in the finals, you're going to need somebody to go out there where everybody can't get the job done. Only one person, you're going to need one person to say, you know what, is on me tonight. And they're going to go out there and score 35 plus points. And I would like to say that that's Jason Tatum. But I don't know. Like, Jason Tatum, to me, I feel like he's either in that superstar tier, or he's right in like the B tier. But he's like at the bottom of the superstar tier, or he's at the top of, well, not superstar. It's only a couple of superstars in the league, but stars. Like, he's a perennial, both of them perennial all-stars, but it's that step above that. by saying that you are the guy on your team. And we've seen glimpses. We just haven't seen it on a consistent basis with him. Like, this is the same person that went out there and said, "You know what, Kobe, I got you. I got you tonight." And then he didn't have Kobe. Like, this is that person. So when it comes to that, I believe that Boston has a lot of people, a lot of players that can go out there and get it for you. They got Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday can go out there and get you 20, 25, 30 points. Dave White can go out there and get you the same. Like Al Horford, say what you want to say about him. He's old, but he's one of those old players where you keep thinking he's going to decline and he don't. So with that being the case, like, he can go out there and get the job done. But it's just, my thing with them was saying that if you needed someone to get the job done when nobody else is getting the job done collectively, who can you look at on a consistent basis and say that I believe in that person to go out there and get it done? And I don't know. And so on the flip side of that, I'm looking at Dallas and I'm like, they got two of them. So where y'all don't even have one, they have two of them. So slightly weaker team, but they got Kyrie and they got Luka. So when it comes to that Celtics team, they may look at it as, when it comes to the last shot, I mean, you take it. I don't know. I'll take it, but I don't. Do you have a person that's definitively taking the last shot? I don't know. But what I do know, when you look at Dallas on the other hand, you got two people that are saying, "Put the ball in my hand, I got it." And I know that both of them believe that they're better than the other one. Now, I think all of us are going to say that Luka is the best person on the team. But you can, in his heart of hearts, I don't think that you can tell Kyrie that. So, do they put it together for game 2? I'll say this. I thought that they were going to win game 1. But really what my thought was that they're going to steal a game in Boston on this trip. So, since that was my original thought and they didn't handle business game 1, I'm going to say that game 2, Dallas is going to put it together. Dallas is going to put it together and they're going to win. Don't make me. I don't say that with clarity. The only reason why I'm saying that is because y'all didn't get the job done in game 1. And I believe that y'all was going to go in there and steal a game in this trip. So I'm not saying that with any level of confidence. I'm just saying it. So we'll see. We shall see. The game comes on in about 21 minutes. And since the game is coming on in about 21 minutes, I am going to get off of here and I'm going to start watching the coverage of the actual professionals. And I will holler at y'all later. And also, I want to say something before we get out of here. All y'all people that keep saying on these platforms, on TikTok, IG, Facebook, and all that good stuff, that keep saying that, trying to come after my basketball knowledge. I've been watching basketball for 25 plus years, and it has been my favorite sport for 25 plus years. I casually watch football. I bleed basketball. So watch your mouth. I know on the court, I know off the court. So what y'all not gonna do is a player is somebody that hadn't paid attention to any basketball in the last, that's a casual fan. Like, I watch all 82 games. Like, just this past season is the first time that I didn't watch 70 plus Pelican games along with all the other games going on. So what we not gonna do is play with my basketball knowledge. So I just wanted to say that. Carry on with y'all day. Y'all have a good one. And let's tune into the finals. And I know I just said a lot, but I also said that, hey, I'm not confidently saying that Dallas is going to win tonight. But, hey, holler at y'all later.